I'm Mike Meyer, CEO and founder of Quiq. Joining me today will be Max Fortis, who's one of our astute product team members. Max is also very vocally talented, so he'll be doing the voice demos today.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here.
All right, let's jump in. In the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be talking about phone and voice. And why are we doing this? Well, phone calls still lead the game, it will still win the game in contact center volume. What you're seeing on the screen is a survey from execs in the know where contact center leaders were quizzed about what their leading channels of contact are. Phone, while it is decreasing and inherently chat and SMS are starting to increase, text messaging alternatives, phone still is the lion's share of the volume in the contact center. So with that backdrop, let's talk about how you could handle the phone more efficiently than you do today. Frankly, voice and phone calls haven't evolved very much in the last couple years. And as a result, it's not necessarily the greatest experience to actually get to an agent sometimes. And so we've got IVR and call trees. Everybody's so familiar with press one for this, press two for that. And then oftentimes those IVR options benefit only the business because they're not helping the customer get an answer to their question. They're just helping the customer get into the right queue. And so as a result, especially if there's hold times involved, customers are not happy waiting on hold, and the self-service options on phone have been limited historically by the technology and the usefulness of self-service inside of voice. And that's a painful point because phone calls are the most expensive channel to handle from a staffing and operations standpoint. So voice hasn't really evolved. And so what we're here today to talk about is an evolution of voice, and we're introducing Quiq's Voice AI. And with Voice AI, you can resolve 40 to 80% of your routine customer issues through an interactive voice session using the latest AI and speech processing technologies. Using the Voice AI, it's not just about answering simple questions like what's my return policy, but actually more complex questions, maybe multi-part questions, or also probably more likely and more usefully answering questions that are tied to my specific account information. For instance, where is my order? Or I want to cancel an order or return a part of an order, or I've got a delivery scheduled and I want to reschedule that delivery. Those interactions are tied to internal data. And where we're focused and where we believe the greatest opportunity is automating those interactions that involve a combination of business process as well as static policy information. And so we want to make Voice AI smart by connecting it to your internal systems. And these interactions are multimodal. So we've all used interactive voice in the past. One of the most difficult interactions is when there's a lot of information to be had. Like, for instance, imagine I was trying to reschedule a flight on the phone, and the response, the assistant was giving me options, and it was like, option one, leaving Chicago at 3:34 p.m., arriving Denver at 6:45 p.m. And then next option. And the listening to complex information, it's much easier to absorb that by looking at it in the screen. And so we're very bullish on the opportunity to make these interactions multimodal. That doesn't mean leaving the voice interaction. That means augmenting the voice interaction with a text so I can actually see the three choices of my flight options visually, as opposed to trying to actually remember what all three were. Because by the time I've heard the third option, I've probably forgotten the first option. And it's just a lot easier to absorb complex things in a screen. Um, The underlying technology here is built on state-of-the-art language processing and text-to-speech. You'll see in the demo today, the quality of the speech output is very high. The quality of the speech recognition is also very high. And this implementation fits with your existing infrastructure. We'll talk more about how Quiq's voice AI fits into your systems here in a moment. So what does voice AI do? There's a couple of different call flows. First of all, if the caller wants to actually switch to a digital channel, we can offer at the beginning of the call the opportunity to switch and make a seamless conversation transition to a digital channel from where they were in the IVR already. So we can make the digital transition, or if the customer doesn't want to switch and wants to stay on voice, we can help them solve their issue through an interaction that possibly is enhanced with messaging. If that interaction does not get solved by voice AI, we can also seamlessly escalate to one of your agents in the contact center. And we'll show a diagram of that here in a moment. I should also set the stage that the way that Quiq handles the voice interactions, this is based upon our underlying customer AI assistant technology. And customer AI assistants run across all channels that Quiq supports. And with the addition of voice, we now have voice, we have asynchronous text messaging channels like SMS or Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or Apple Messages for Business. And then also we have Quiq's web chat. And Quiq's web chat is a little bit different than traditional web chat because it's also asynchronous, meaning that you can be in a conversation in web chat, walk away from your computer for a while and come back again and pick up that conversation. And all of those three types of interactions, web chat, asynchronous messaging, and voice, are handled by the same AI assistant. So internally, we use a tool called AI Studio to build these experiences. And the full power of AI Studio is available to you to build alongside of the Quiq team or in place of the Quiq team, if you wish. And so inside of AI Studio, you can build an assistant once and then run that experience across all channels. And that also gives you flexibility in terms of deploying AI because you can start deploying on one particular experience in one particular channel, and then just by turning on channels, extend that experience to other channels or to other use cases. So we call this whole concept build once, run everywhere. Every time we talk about AI, there's always the issue, and everybody's intimately now familiar with hallucinations, and we've all used ChatGPT and we've gotten wrong answers. And we're not going to spend any time on this today, but suffice it to say that the way Quiq builds their AI inside of AI Studio, we are able to build very safe experiences. And that's partially based upon the underlying pattern that we use to build these experiences. And so before we answer a question for the customer, we've actually determined what the answer is. And we're going to use the AI to format and compose a very nice response to the customer. But because we know the answer to the question, we're not just relying on the AI to use its training data to answer the question. We actually know the information before the AI is going to process it. And so as a result of that, we can fact check and safeguard. And we have a process built into AI Studio that essentially, once a customer answer is generated, is used to verify that that answer is safe, on point, and includes only information that's been approved to be provided to the customer. So we're not going to spend any more time on that. There's more information on that hallucination and the safety of AI on the website. And also the Quiq team would be happy to dive into further detail there as well. But for the purposes of the demo today, hopefully you'll be able to assume that the Quiq platform can provide a safe answer across all of those channels. I'm going to wrap up my portion of this discussion with a little bit of more technical conversation about how AI works in voice. And so you've got an existing phone number, your calls are being routed into that phone number. We're going to bring voice AI into that conversation, either at the very beginning, if you want every conversation to be first upfront triaged and determine intent. The voice AI can answer every call. Voice AI can also be placed inside of your existing call flow or IVR. And perhaps there's only a particular option that you want to initially automate with voice AI. Maybe it's rescheduling a flight. We can take that particular choice inside of your existing call flow and connect that to voice AI. And when that connection is made, so there's really three different outcomes that could happen. The first outcome is that we interact on voice and we're able to actually solve the issue. So when everybody's happy, customer's happy, you've interacted and saved money in that resolution for that customer. If we're not able to answer the issue inside of the voice AI, we can seamlessly transfer that conversation over to a queue. And at that point, we know more information about the conversation because we interacted with the customer when what their issue is. And we can transfer that with that additional information, or even use that additional information to transfer to an appropriate queue. So that's in the voice channel. Throughout the interaction, we can also give the option to switch over to a digital channel. And inside of a digital channel, again, we could have AI potentially answer the issue, or we could escalate to a human that was working inside of Quiq's AI-assisted agent contact center. And I should also add, on that agent AI contact center, the same underlying customer AI assistant technology can also be repurposed to help human agents in the contact center. So when I talked earlier about building once and running everywhere, that concept doesn't just apply to channels and customer facing. We can also use the underlying knowledge that's incorporated in a customer-facing assistant and augment that with internal knowledge and deploy that for an agent-facing assistant, or more of a co-pilot use case. So with that, I've done a whole bunch of background information. I'm sure that you want to see the real thing in action. And I'm going to stop sharing and pass control over to the vocally talented Max, and he's going to take it away with a demo.
Thanks, Mike. So I'm going to jump in. You mind stop sharing real quick, Mike, and I'll go ahead and jump in.
Sorry, I'm trying to. There we go.
No problem. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Mike. So as Mike mentioned, with Quiq, you can deploy the same large language model powered generative AI assistant on voice that you're already leveraging across other rich messaging channels. That means you can build once, integrate once, and run everywhere. In this demo, we're going to see how we can generate contextual answers from a knowledge base, as well as generate answers to questions specifically related to my account. In this demo, with Voice AI, not only can you deploy the same assistant, but you can also augment your voice experience by sending relevant links and information to users during the course of the conversation. And we know from our customers that a large percentage of the inbound call volume their agents are currently handling has to do with relatively straightforward account or order-related questions that can be answered by Quiq Voice AI today with access to the appropriate knowledge-based content and integrations. We're going to be walking through a couple of examples of what this looks like, and we're going to be using a sample bicycle retailer, Quicksilver Mountain Bikes, to highlight this functionality. As a call out, I'm going to be doing this demo with my phone on speaker. The audio should come in pretty clearly, but the assistant is going to be playing a thinking sound as it generates answers, which may get filtered out slightly by Zoom here. So let's jump in. Let's imagine I've got some questions about a bike I ordered recently, and we'll see how I can get my questions answered by Quiq's AI assistant without needing the help of a human agent. So I'll go ahead and call in here.
Thank you for calling Quicksilver Bikes. How may I assist you today?
Hi, I need to check on when I can pick up the bike I ordered last week.
One moment while I look up information based on your phone number. Your Cannondale bike order is estimated to be ready for pickup on August 22, 2024 at our Union, New Jersey location. The balance due at pickup is $1,000. Let us know if you have other questions.
Thanks. Can I change the store I pick it up at?
No problem. I'll send you a text message with all nearby stores. Please let me know which store you'd like to change your pickup location to.
Actually, let's go ahead and keep that same store.
Great, your bike will be available for pickup at the Union, New Jersey store. Please let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
What days of the week is the store open again?
Just one more moment. The store is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Let us know if you have other questions. I sent you a text with more information.
Awesome, thank you. And do you accept MasterCard?
I just sent you a text message with a link to make the payment. Thank you for choosing Quicksilver Bike.
Awesome. So in that demo, we can see how we can leverage the power of generative AI and large language models to incorporate answers from our knowledge base, answer questions based on my own account information, and augment those flows via text messaging when appropriate, which can be especially helpful when answering complex questions or simply just providing a link to the customer that they can go ahead and reference later. And all of that is happening in a natural, contextually aware way, like we'd expect from a good human call center agent. Okay, so you can probably see how Quiq's voice offering enables powerful self-serve capabilities over the phone that can be augmented by text messaging when appropriate. However, we know that the phone isn't always going to be the best channel to handle all customer issues. That may be because the back and forth required for the interaction necessitates the customer sending in an image. I know we got some questions in the chat about how we handle things like that. Or maybe they have to look up account information they may not have on hand and they don't want to wait on the phone while they dig around for it. In this next demo, we're going to take a look at how we can shift the customer to the appropriate channel, depending on their issue. And just give me a moment to get my conversations all set up here. Okay, so what we're going to show can be accomplished via a traditional IVR menu at the beginning of a conversation. For example, press 1 for order issues, press 2 for warranty claims. However, it can also happen naturally during the course of a conversation thanks to Quiq's voice AI, which enables us to incorporate the power of large language models with Quiq's existing business process automation logic to help correctly identify the topic of a conversation and get that customer down the correct path confidently. So we're going to see another example of this now. So let's imagine I'm picking up that same bike, but I'm having some issues with my handlebars. So I'm going to call back into that same assistant and try and get my issue resolved since it was so helpful the first time. Once again, this will be on speaker, so those thinking sounds may or may not come in there.
Thank you for calling Quicksilver Bikes. How may I assist you today?
The handlebars on my bike keep slipping, and I think I need to get new ones.
Just one more moment. We recommend checking the handlebar adjustment and tightening the bolts. If the issue persists, replacement parts can be found through authorized Cannondale retailers or local bike shops. Let us know if you have other questions. I sent you a text with more information.
Thanks, I already did that, and they told me the next step was to file a warranty claim.
I'm sorry to hear that. Would it be okay to continue this conversation over text messaging so you can upload an image to get the claim started? Please let me know if that's okay.
Yeah, that would be great.
Great, we'll proceed with your warranty claim over text messaging. Thank you for your call today. Please let us know if there's anything else we can help with.
Nope, that's it. Thank you. Okay, so now we fully transitioned over to text messaging where I can have all the time I need to take a picture of my bike's handlebars, which once again is something I might not have time to do while I'm on the phone with that agent. I may be at work. I may not be near my bike to go ahead and grab that information. So I'll go ahead and upload an image here. So imagine I'm home. I've got a picture of that bike. And as we're waiting for that to come in, another call out. This is the same assistant I was just chatting with. It's also the same assistant that we have on site here. So if I ask an FAQ question or a question about my account, we'll be using that same content, the same flows we saw earlier. We're going to collect a couple more pieces of information. So we'll get my name here. And then the next piece of information we're going to need, I believe, is going to be the serial number for that bike. Awesome. So we're asking for that, providing me a helpful link if I don't know where to find that. But let's imagine I've got my serial number memorized here. And then I'm also logged in as an agent in Quiq. And what I want to highlight, I'm going to send this in. We're going to hand this off to me as an agent. I want to highlight how, even though we've switched channels here, the agent has full context of that conversation when it does come in. So I'll go ahead and accept that. And you can see the back and forth we had over SMS. But crucially, if I scroll up, we're also going to see the entirety of that voice conversation, in addition to any notifications we sent over SMS, any supplemental links sent as well. You can also see the information gathered by the assistant over on the right-hand side here, like inquiry type, topic, the serial number, as well as a helpful AI-generated summary of our conversation so far. As Mike mentioned, you may also have seen a little Agent Assist message in here. So with Agent Assist, we can use the same knowledge and data sources as our customer-facing assistants to generate answers that our agents are able to leverage as well using those same integrations. So that's how Quiq's voice AI slots seamlessly into our existing channel and AI capabilities, enabling you to build once, deploy anywhere, and augment that conversation when appropriate and shift your customers to the right channel without losing context. And that concludes the demo portion here. We hope you all are as excited about voice AI as we are. And with that, back to you, Mike.
Very good, Max. Thank you for the demo. There have been a number of questions in the chat. We continue to accept questions in the chat. If you want more information, we can encourage everyone to come and visit quiq.com. On our website, you'll find first, under the platform tab, the customer AI assistant option, and under there's a recorded version of the demo that you just saw, so you can actually share that with the team and discuss internally what the experience sounds like. In addition, you can, of course, contact us at any point in time through our requested demo link to have a personalized interaction with the Quiq team to see and ask more questions in real time. And then finally, I referenced AI Studio and how we build these experiences. While we didn't cover it today, AI Studio is a very robust tool. It's really unique in the CX industry. It's a way to build complicated business process CX interactions for a team of people that might include conversational designers, business analysts, and software engineers. So it kind of ranges from no code to pro code. And if you visit our website in the AI Studio section, there's an opportunity to sign up for an AI Studio trial site, and you'll get a site that includes the AI Studio Academy, which is a really useful 4-step process that teaches you how to build an AI assistant inside of Quiq, but also exposes you to underlying concepts like retrieval augmented generation or RAG. And it's a really good way to learn about how AI is built in general. So you can sign up for one of those free trial sites. Max and my email are on the bottom of the screen. Feel free to reach out to either of us if you have questions as well. And finally, we've got a moment or two left. If there is anyone that wants to ask a question live now, we can take those as well. And Max, you've probably been looking at the open question list. Is there any submitted on text that we should take?
Yeah, there's a few good ones here. So we've got a question from Marty around do we have trials available, and also around deployment timelines. So deployment timelines are going to vary depending on number of use cases, number of integrations. As far as trials go, like Mike mentioned, we do have an AI Studio trial that you can sign up for. On our website there, we've got a screenshot of it right here, which will guide you through some initial lessons that are going to help you kind of understand the core concepts of building with large language models and integrating those into your experiences. That's going to work across all messaging channels. So that would be a great recommendation for anyone who wants to learn a bit more about how these are configured and built. We've got a bunch more good questions in there, Mike. I'm not sure if there's any others you want to try to tackle now.
I'll take also there was a question about are there any limitations in integrating to CCaaS or on-premise telephony? And we have a number of methods that we connect to the existing telephony infrastructure. At a base case, if your existing telephone system can make an outbound call, we can integrate with that, provided that that system can also make an API call and take some action based upon that API. So I think at this point in time, pretty much anything that's reasonably modern can do those two things, be able to make an outbound REST call and place a phone call, and we can integrate in those. So generally, we haven't found anything that we can't integrate with at this point in time. So that was another question. And then there were a number of questions around languages and not just understanding languages, but the spoken languages from the assistant and brand tone. And I think the summary answer for all the questions in that category are we can customize the voice that you heard, male or female, and there's a number of different choices there. That's like 15 or 20 or something like that. And then the actual brand tone, do you want to be very formal or do you want to be interactive and friendly? We can customize that as part of the AI build and how we instruct the assistant to behave. And then from the standpoint of actually the interaction language, like the customer spoken language, the AI has really kind of changed the game on the work involved in supporting languages. And so we can detect customers' language. We could change the output language. We can also understand basically almost any language at this point in time. So really good language support. While I've been droning on there, any other questions come in, Max?
Yeah, we've got one about how easy it is to kind of assign nodes in a voice conversation flow to text. So when you're building this, as Mike called out, it really is build once and run everywhere. So you can define for whatever channel it is, whether it's voice, whether it's messaging, or maybe you're on web and you want to move to SMS. It's easy to kind of build once and then have specific channel variations. So if voice, do this, if messaging, do this, as well as leverage sending notifications during the course of the conversation to a customer's phone number. Obviously, you want to make sure you've opted the customer in those cases. In the example where I called in, I'd already opted in to receive messaging, but you do want to make sure that if you are going to be augmenting your voice conversation with additional text messages, that you've got permission from the customer to go ahead and do that first. But it is easy to build it once and then have channel variations right within that same assistant.
And then there was another question about in the conversation flow, some interactions may just be better handled by text, period. And how easy is it to kind of like force people into different channels or vice versa. And so really in the overall conversation journey that we'll work with you to map out, there's a lot of flexibility to determine and offer the option or even potentially force someone down a particular path. And so I think in general, you should, as you think about this, you shouldn't be constrained by the technology when you consider like what the interaction should be like. You should actually think about what's the best form of interaction in this particular situation, and we'll be able to actually map the journey into the appropriate channels. So yeah, don't be constrained in the technology in this particular situation. Switching to and from is definitely an option. And then there was another question about keeping an existing number. Yes, that in that telephony infrastructure, you would keep your existing number, and it could be integrated at the very beginning, so AI answers directly, or it could be integrated down inside the existing call flow so that AI only was brought into the call at a particular point in the call flow. Okay, lots of questions. There was another question about the thinking, sound, and processing time. we are using the world is not yet instantaneous. It's moving in that direction. We use the thinking sound so that we have time to actually run the large language models in the background. And I should also mention the AI we're using is essentially agnostic. So the AI Studio and the Quiq platform runs across multiple LLMs, and in a particular use case or handling a particular utterance, in some cases, one LLM might be better than another, and the platform gives us the option to use whatever the best LLM is in a particular situation. Long story short, interacting with LLMs is not instantaneous, so we do have a little bit of delay, and that's why we play the thinking sound so that the user understands that the system is working. As this technology gets better and models get smaller and faster, we anticipate that response time is going to be getting better and better. So I think that what you're seeing today certainly won't get any worse, and it's much likely to get better in the future in terms of response time. Max, anything else we should answer?
We've got a question about the information that the assistant would be able to pull answers from. So maybe not having their data in the right place or their knowledge in the right place. And I think that would be a good one to kind of touch on quickly. So we obviously work with a lot of customers who have data in all varying shapes and forms. So one of the things we focused on with AI Studio is being able to take that data, whether it's knowledge-based articles, PDFs, scraping a website, and then take that into our AI Studio tool and transform that. So that might be things like pulling out references to contact us on social media or call us at this number, being able to transform that information. That might be adding in things into it as well, so that it can be used for an AI assistant. So we do need some amount of information. Obviously, the assistant's only as good as the data it has access to. But in terms of the format and the quality of that data, a lot of the work we've done in AI Studio is to make it easy to take any information you have and then transform that in a way so that it's usable for your assistant.
And I should, on the data topic, I'll also throw in the data that we're consuming. Quiq is SOC 2 compliant. The data is only used for the purposes of delivering the assistant to your business. We're not going to use your data to train a model that could potentially be used by someone else or anything like that. And our agreements with underlying LLM providers specify the same. So there shouldn't be a concern around the data escaping and being exposed in AI later. Okay, I think we're winding down. We exceeded our 30-minute target by 4 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for your patience and for your attention today. Once again, our contact information and call to action to visit the webpage is still on the screen. Look forward to hopefully interacting with folks who want to find out more information about this exciting new world of voice and AI. Thank you. Everyone have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.